Hey guys, back with another quick video here. So, end of the year's rapidly approaching. It's starting to cool off outside a little bit. So this car is probably not going to be on the road for much longer. Just about ready to start doing the winter projects on it. So I figured I'd shoot a quick update video. The front bumper is getting ready to come off the car. I just have to finish clearancing right in here. You can see how close that's actually touching. The plastic's actually touching the intercooler there. So I gotta pull that off and clearance it and put it back, and just lots of little trial and error, test fit, trim, test fit, trim kind of things. Try to make it look original, because I can't take too much of this off without ruining the aesthetic of it. So, but there's a mesh that's supposed to go on there that's laying around in here somewhere. So once I get that clearanced enough to put the mesh back in and have it not touch the intercooler, then it'll be ready to go in for paint. So same with the rear bumper. The rear bumper will be repainted this winter as well. Couple other little things, like I talked about in the last video, the rear diff makes a nasty crunchy noise driving it around. So the forwardmost input shaft bearing on the rear diff is bad. So the rear diff is going off to TRE to get the 12 plate max lock and the billet side cover and the full rebuild. So that'll be cool. Other things I will be doing, I'm going to rewire the car using, right now it's got a right hand drive harness in it that's just kind of made to work. I've got the wires going into the center of the firewall, and which a lot of people do, but I'm not really super happy with that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm picking up a standard Mirage left-hand drive harness for a 1.8 liter motor, and I'm going to take that harness apart, add in a couple of wires that it's missing for the Evo engine, like the boost control solenoid and stuff like that. And then that will run through the original harness grommet over here, which I'm just using for gauge cinders right now. Basically just flip-flop it. The gauge cinders will go in the hole that I cut back there, and the wiring will run like original. Also, right there where that grommet is, that's the factory grommet from the wiring harness. I'm going to put a plate on the firewall there and a quick disconnect, like a Deutsch quick disconnect connector. That way I can pull the motor without having to actually pull the dash out and unhook the wires that go to the ECU. You wouldn't normally have to do that, but there's a ground on the firewall, and that one ground is impossible to reach without removing the heater boxes, which of course requires removing the dash. So it's just a bad design. Mitsubishi didn't really care about people actually having to work on their cars. So, as evidenced by the fact that everything in this engine bay is made of broken glass. At least that's what it feels like on your hands. So I'll be doing that to fix the wiring issue. Hopefully that fixes the misfiring issue. I'm going to be removing the fuel system, take the injectors in and have them cleaned. And I also have a Fuel Lab 6 micron fuel filter that's going in. That's pretty shiny. And other than that, the only other thing... There's that fuel filter. Ooh, fancy. Other than that, the only other thing that I have to do is redo all of the power steering stuff. The hoses sweat. You can kind of see. I don't know why they do this, but anytime I've tried to put an aftermarket hose on for any of the hoses on this car. It always leaks, and it's bad. That's all power steering fluid. So I don't really understand why that's an issue. I've been fighting it forever. The plan as of now is to just eliminate all of those hoses and use AN fittings and AN hose. And I shouldn't have to deal with that anymore. So that's going to be a big job, but I think it'll be worth it. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. So stay tuned.